Hello, welcome to SquishiVision. We're on the next trailer that we need to catch up on, which is the Section 31 trailer. I don't know how I feel about this and I don't know how most people feel about this. I think that most people feel about this. I think the biggest kind of pro that I've heard people really kind of expressed towards it is that Michelle Yeoh is in it. Other than that, there's several things. I mean, it's a television film, so at least it'll be one and done and over. But it's a television film. And it's tackling an area of Star Trek which is usually best kept as an auxiliary element, and that's the Section 31 element. I mean, Star Trek can do dark, gritty, edgy grounders very well. You know, DS9, Discovery, they both did that relatively well. Even Enterprise certain elements did that relatively well. Although Enterprise is obviously kind of marred by being a post 9/11 Star Trek show. But Section 31 is meant to be like the part of Star Trek that is very much open to critique. The part of Starfleet rather is open to like it's part of Starfleet where it's the bad guy part of Starfleet. It's like when there's a part of Starfleet that it's the part of Starfleet that when it's part of Starfleet that's the bad guy part of Starfleet, essentially. Like, but I think as writers have been like, oh, people want edgy, gritty stuff, they've kind of confused, they kind of got lost around that message and like brought it in more. So let's see what the trailer leaves us with. See where that goes.
An emperor can only be loyal to duty. Thus does the empire remain strong. Thus does it grow. All hail the emperor!
Giorgio, you're a tyrant who murdered her own people by the millions. The past always catches up with you.
You're Section 31.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
31 is a Black Ops division. Spy work. Starfleet is here to make sure no one commits murder.
What a cute idea.
Prove to me you got some coordination.
It's gonna be bumpy and bad.
You're a bad bitch.
We can't trust you with our lives, but here we go.
Somebody's got to keep it lively, right?
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
The look you're seeing now is one of someone who isn't very impressed. I don't like to be negative. I'm one of those people who wants to enjoy art and wants to take the positives or appreciate what the artist is going for and embrace from that perspective. This is basically like Suicide Squad Star Trek. There's a big how do I say this? There's a big tonal clash here between okay, that button didn't work the way I wanted it to do. There's a big tonal clash here between what Star Trek as a show is meant to be like and what, I mean, even the branding behind me, even this is doesn't look, I mean, Star Trek is like hidden in there as like the most minute kind of postscript of a branding. So much are they trying to avoid the fact that this is a Star Trek show. Like the first few shots of that trailer is someone literally stepping in blood. There's like vulgar language. And I know Star Trek has become a bit more adult in recent years with like its approach to language and stuff, and that's not inherently a problematic thing. But also, didn't we leave off like Giorgio's past character arc with them pledging to be a better person? And surely that's like not enabling them to do Black Ops things, you know? And eating eyeballs and doing all of like the morally dubious things that one needs to do in order to like be a better person. Like even the way that it's edited, the more kind of like the music choices, everything in this trailer, nothing kind of fills me with a huge amount of like optimism, which is what Star Trek shows should do. I mean, again, I have no issue with dark and gritty Star Trek. Okay, it's been done very well. This looks like, but it's been done with criticism. As if the show is criticizing that element. This is done as like a fun celebration of like dubious nature, and that's not what it's meant to represent. I mean, do we go through this again?
An emperor can only be loyal.
So I guess we're gonna see some of Giorgio's backstory, which is again doesn't fill me with much optimism, because Giorgio's backstory is them being a bloodthirsty tyrant, and so this will be like, well, how did they get there? Like, we know how they got to where they are now, so this will only be how did they get there. And the only reason why that would be relevant is if because how they got there is relevant to the story, but that's surely a backtrack of their character progression.
To duty. Thus does the Empire.
Look, this is a pretty like grotesque imagery for Star Trek.
Remain strong. Thus does it grow.
And starting up a trailer with this kind of with this thesis, it suggests it's a core part of a show that we're going to explore the moral kind of ambiguity and the moral kind of dubious nature. And it's like, did we not already do that? And I think part of the issue is this, like, a Section 31 spin-off of Giorgio was meant to like have been done years ago, like whilst Discovery was still on air. I think actually it was meant to be done. I think Giorgio was never meant to come back, never meant to go into the future. I might be making this up. From my recollection, I think Jojo was never meant to like jump into the future of Discovery. She was meant to be left behind. We were meant to have a Section 31 spin-off where she is at that point of her life there before all that extra character progression. And then they cancelled it, so they've brought the character along, and then they brought it back again after she's already had that character development. I'm pretty certain that's what happened there. Which is why it doesn't hugely make a lot of sense for her to be still part of it.
Hail the Emperor!
Philippa Giorgio, you're a tyrant who murdered her own people by the millions.
Again, finally, we're coming back to this whole element of having a tyrant, as if her violent nature is going to be relevant.
The past always catches up with you.
But no, because she already went through that whole past catching up of her element when she had to atone for that. And that all suggests her whole like fun attitude to that part of her life rather than kind of remorse.
You're Section 31.
Okay, ladies, now let's get.
And I guess this is our kind of motley crew of Section 31 people wearing a mixture of. We've got like someone there who might possibly be a liberated Borg. We've got a Vulcan with bleached hair, possibly Romulan to be honest, but and then a couple of other people of various dispositions. And again, like Section 31 isn't meant to be this like fun, rogue, Suicide Squad-esque element. It's meant to be this less about how unnecessary evil still isn't acceptable.
Get information.
31 is a Black Ops division. Spy work. Starfleet is here to make sure no one commits murder. What?
I mean, fine. I guess that's like as far as the concept goes. But again, that's them trying to like excuse and defend Section 31 as a concept in Star Trek as being something acceptable. And it's like, oh no, they don't do murder, but we know they do. We know they like assassinate people, or set people up to be set people up to be assassinated, or they set people up to take the fall or die or be executed. They are not like beyond that. Like we know that's something that Section 31 does. I mean, that's part of spy work. That's part of Black Ops work.
What a cute idea.
And it's even what's implied here. It's implied that she's being ridiculous for even suggesting such a concept, which doesn't suggest much critique.
Prove to me you got some coordination.
It's gonna be bumpy and bad.
And you're putting a lot of like, there's a lot of heavy lifting being done here by advertising Michelle Yeoh as a Academy Award winning actress to try and like bring people into the show. And all these like weird like digital zooms. I'm not a fan. And again, we're gonna see all these like presumably these flashbacks to her as an emperor.
You're a bad bitch.
We can't trust you with our lives, but here we go.
Somebody's got to keep it lively, right?
I really hope all these transitions aren't actually in the show because I'm not a fan of them. It is. It's Star Trek: The Suicide Squad, and I'm not a fan. What do the comments say? Do I look? Everyone is agreeing here. Yep. I mean, everything. Look. I don't want to be one of the haters, but I'm agreeing with a lot of this, except obviously here because Yakalite was good. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll all surprise us. All right. Well, I want to move on to this as soon as possible. God save me, we're moving on to Mufasa though. Oh no, Lower Decks, which I wasn't not particularly a fan of either. But oh well, here we go.